To manage student engagement in their academic study more effectively and efficiently, the University of Bedfordshire valued the role of ICT and decided to look at better ways of managing student engagement using innovative technology. As a result, the university and a business intelligence vendor have jointly developed a student engagement system known as SES in 2009. The system enables the users to spot a drop in engagement level before it becomes significant, thus allowing users to get involved and hopefully encourage the student to re-engage.
Strategically, I think it's very significant indeed. It involves three areas, I think, of the university strategy. One is our commitment to the retention of our students. The other is about students' learning styles, and another is around how we utilise our resources. It's contributing to all three of those strategic objectives. And in particular, it's important in terms of students' own capacity to succeed. The student engagement system is drawing data from a whole range of different sources, both one could say informal learning activities as well as formal classroom-based activities. We're able to draw that data out and analyse it both at the individual level of the student and therefore support people like our course administrators, people like our personal academic tutors to genuinely understand the pattern of learning that a student has. Equally, we can aggregate that up at departmental, at course level and at institution level to look at the way students are interacting with us and the way that they're utilising the resources that we put to their use.
Although the student engagement system went live in December 2009, it served as merely an information source rather than a decision support environment. Furthermore, key users of the system have highlighted that the system's interface is fairly basic and have expressed a desire for enhanced functionalities.
I think the shortcomings of the initial rollout of the student engagement system really stem from the fact that it was still in pilot stage and not all the technical issues had been resolved and ironed out. In particular, the speed of the system was slow because it was collecting so much information and making so many calculations that it performed quite poorly. And also, perhaps we didn't understand how the data feeds would be collecting the information and still running during the day. I think the system could be improved if we added additional feeds into the system. It would allow the business intelligence software to collect more data and give a more holistic picture of student engagement in the university.
Following the JISC strategy in 2010 to help institutions develop and use their corporate and business systems efficiently and effectively, JISC launched the Business Intelligence Programme in line with its aim to work with managers of higher education in the areas of business intelligence and business intelligence systems. The JISC BI programme has given the university an opportunity to enhance the student engagement system with BI solutions. Having conducted surveys, focus groups and interviews with key stakeholders in the university, three key areas of improvements have been made to meet key stakeholder needs and support their decision making. First is to enhance the system's flexibility for customisation. It is particularly important for users to define their own engagement measurement index. Second is to have interactive dashboard for engagement reporting. And third is to have a customisable risk alert tool for automatic identification of risk students.
Obviously lots of people were working on the system, starting to use the system, identifying issues with it. The suppliers were brought in, had a thorough review of all the code and got the response time up dramatically. The other improvements are there are more graphical elements that allow users to be able to assess the data very quickly on screen and make their decisions. During this JISC project there have been a number of changes that have improved the system. Some of the changes are quite soft We've created a committee which we call the BAG, which is a Business Action Group. That committee is responsible for sharing best practice of how people are using the system and making sure that it's widely used throughout the administration and that we're identifying students who could be helped further quickly.
With over 20,000 students at the university and about 10 engagement points being collected every day, the database very quickly expanded to many millions of rows of data. This had an impact on performance, and early on the users were complaining about the length of time it took to retrieve the data. We worked with the suppliers as part of the JISC project to ensure that we could improve the indexing of the database and bring the data back much more quickly. The flexibility to change was an area that the users wanted to see. We've improved now the ability for users to change the impact and decay factors for cohorts and for the various engagement points, so they can quickly see the impact on how the engagement relates to their particular course. To improve the flexibility for users, we've also introduced the capability for them to turn off the reporting of selected engagement points. The users found that not all engagement points applied to all student courses, so they now have the ability to configure reports based upon only selected engagement events. We're using the Oracle Business Intelligence tools to provide alerts to the users so that they can immediately see which students on their course are considered to be at the greatest risk.
In summary, this project has significantly improved our current student engagement system with the BI solutions that we have just heard, such as customized student engagement measurement index, interactive dashboard for reporting, and risk alert system. As a result, the users now are able to make more informed and timely decisions in relation to student engagement management.
Our mission really is to retain students and prevent avoidable dropout wherever that's possible. So what we have is a team of retention coordinators who use the 8 data feeds within the system in order to check students' engagement patterns against model patterns and average patterns for the course. This then enables them to refer students who might not be engaging as well as they should onto personal tutors and or engagement advisors who can then help the student with their problems and hopefully get them back on track. So really the system supports us to be much more proactive and support students much earlier and target support where it's needed most.
It benefits the users, who tend to be the academic community and the registry, by providing us with much more accurate reports for student engagement by course or by particular group that we might be looking at. We can then take that information and match it with unit performance or the overall student profile and identify whether we've got areas of concern for the student. We can then contact the tutor of the student and alert them to the fact that we feel that the student needs some extra support, bring those students in and offer them the support mechanisms that they might need to re-engage them with their studies, whether that be learning support or other mentoring support that they need.
The project has had quite an impact on the future of not just this student engagement system, but also other related university IT projects. First related project is the personal academic tutoring system. This allows the university to ensure that each individual student has a meeting with their personal tutor to discuss their academic matters. The second development is an expansion of the attendance monitoring capability. The university is embarking on a project where all teaching rooms will have monitoring equipment installed. All this information will go into the student engagement system, thus improving the amount of data that's already held there.
I think we're very ambitious for its impact. We look to be able to gather information across all our students and also to be able to feed that material into many of our existing structures to make them better able to deliver the things we're asking of them. So within our student support structure, we can take a sophisticated analysis of whether there are any differences around the engagement patterns of those from different ethnic groups, of those from different disability environments, of those on courses A as against courses B. Our student engagement advisors, who are looking to help those students who are, as it were, in some way at risk, can really use this material to manage and consider resources. Longer term, as we gather this data and can look back historically at it, we can start to see those patterns which will allow us to deploy our resources across such areas in different ways. I think it's important for us to think about what is the world that the university is going to be in the future. And in that context, we're looking at the expectations not only of our students, but also of a range of outside stakeholders, including such organisations as the UKBA, who do expect us to be much more closely monitoring and tracking the engagement of our students and their presence in university activities. It's critical to us that our students are present and that they are involved, and our future income is very much dependent on students not dropping out. We need to have these kinds of data collection mechanisms which are non-intrusive and supportive, but allow us to really get an understanding of what is happening to our total student cohorts.